What is up, guys? It's your boy Brandon Gross, self-taught designer, back here again, and today we're going to talk about the design process. So first of all, if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Brandon Gross. I'm a designer. I work with large brands such as Disney, Dannon. So today we're going to talk about the design process. First and foremost, let me start off with saying that design isn't about making the most usable thing or the most beautiful thing. Design is about making the right thing and making that thing right, if that makes sense. It's not only finding the solution, but sculpting the solution as well. So let's talk about the design process. The design process is very simple. We're gonna go over 4 points. Before I go too deep, the design process, there's many different design processes for different agencies, different people, different individuals. But we're gonna talk about the fundamentals and how they apply to all design situations. So we're gonna talk about 4 main things in the design process. And that's 1, brainstorming, 2, prototyping, 3, testing, and 4, evaluating. All these things run in tandem. So first steps is always brainstorming, but there's a step 1 and 2 in brainstorming. To first understand the problem. Hopefully you're not brainstorming before that shit. The second part and the majority of that section of brainstorming is basically just coming up with as many possibilities on paper. I like to do this via sketching. I like to get all my ideas or all the solutions, possible solutions, out of my head and onto paper. That's how I brainstorm. This is all about generating ideas. Another part of that, it's still in the brainstorming, so you have understand the problem, getting all your ideas out on the paper, and then refining the ideas. So when you're in the brainstorming mode, you're throwing out all these ideas to basically fail as much as possible to get to some of the better solutions, 2-3 better solutions. And once you get into those 2 or 3 better solutions, those are you discard the rest of the ideas and start to refine the top best solutions. So next, with these ideas, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to validate these ideas. And how we do that is by prototyping. So with the ideas that we have on paper, we're gonna go ahead and prototype these things. Creating the prototype, you're basically testing whether or not your design or your idea is feasible. And here we test to see, oh, this didn't work out like we thought it would. This did work. How can we make this a little bit better to squeeze more in line with what we were thinking and what we were trying to achieve? So that's the prototype phase. It's basically to continue to refine the 2-3 ideas that you've picked from the brainstorming session and trying to refine here. Next, we're going from the prototyping step into the evaluating. And this is kind of, the prototype and evaluation are kind of on the same line. The line is very vague in this, because when you're prototyping, not only are you putting your idea to work to see if it's feasible, but you're also evaluating whether or not it works. But they really feed into one another. And that's really it. This is like the fundamentals of 1, 2, 3, 4 of the design process. It's the basic brainstorm, prototype, test, evaluate. That's really it, guys. I'm all about fundamentals. When you start getting into understanding the fundamentals and then start creating your own process because you know the fundamentals so well, then I invite you to create your own process. So question of the day, for any of you guys watching out there and you have something to add to the design process that I missed, or I'm very curious about your design processes out there. I know my personal process, but I would love to know specifically what your guys' design processes are. So drop that in the comments. So that is question of the day. What is your design process? Other than that, guys, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. My name is Brandon Gross, and I'm here every day. Self-taught designer out.